Hey, what's up, YouTube? This is Marco Polo. I'm a little bit upset right now. I'm upset with the way things are going in our economy. How prices keep creeping up, sometimes blatantly not even creeping up. They're just shooting up. And our wages, what used to be a wage to keep you afloat, to keep your head above water, is no longer the wage that you can survive at. Basically, survivable wages have fallen behind price increases. One of my commenters on my last video described it's not so much inflation that's killing us, it's the greed of corporations. And that makes a lot of sense. Anytime a corporation wants to expand, make more money, line their pockets, fill up their coffers, they're thinking recession. They can see the numbers on what they're selling and, what foot traffic is coming through, whatnot, clicks or whatever style of business that they have. And they see a decline. Well, they can raise their prices and prepare for the hard times that they see coming. If they can see it coming, believe it, they're going to line their pockets. They're going to line their pockets quick, fast, and in a hurry. The problem is it's at the expense of the American people and the public. We are stuck paying these higher percentages for the same goods, which takes away our discretional income. Discretional meaning anything that you buy beyond the basics would be a discretionary. If you got a little extra money and you want to go grab some ice cream with your kids or any type of entertainment, something that you want to do, you want to go catch a movie, these prices, also the discretionary prices, have shot through the roof as well. So people don't have the opportunity or the money to actually go ahead and do a lot of these things. So discretionary income basically is at an all-time low. Survival, survival, survival. What we need to do on each personal level, do we have to model ourselves after what these businesses are doing? Is that how it's got to be? Is that what it's come to? Do we need to accumulate and conserve as much resource and money and income as possible and let not much of it go out the door? Hold it to you? It's like everybody's got a hoard nowadays. You have to hoard it because its value is going down, and you never know, tomorrow you don't even have it anymore, or there's none available. It's like a scarcity thing setting in this country. The goods and products are becoming more scarce. The shelves are showing it. The higher prices are proving it, that there's competition for so little goods, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. And should the competition ease, should, supply chains and bottlenecks ease up, those prices don't go back down after that. They remain elevated as if we're still in a scarcity environment. That way, they line their pockets. They could create a scarcity. I've heard recently of farmers and food producers who are refusing to produce or actually paid not to produce. And that creates shortages. Our food prices are through the roof, higher than ever in history. And, we got to eat. That's survival, basic, food, water, shelter. These are the basics you need to survive in this world. And if you can't, have those three, you're a very, very, very poor individual and you will not survive. You won't. So then the people end up begging for these things. And then the government, sure, us and our great, we care about you, give the handout. And people stay on those handouts. That's why we have such a problem with welfare, Section 8 housing. That's why we have such a problem with, so many people on food stamps, the SNAP benefits. They're going to grocery stores and they're loading up their carts with all kind of food because they don't have to pay for it themselves. And it makes other Americans or other people seeing this very envious. But the fact of the matter is, I ain't hating on that. I'm not. Because I like to see people with lots of food. I like to see people having a place to live. I like to see people not worried about tomorrow if they're going to survive or not. I like to see you, me, and all the rest of us thriving. And we need that. We do need that in this country, but we're headed in the wrong direction, unfortunately. And the people with their hand out and the government hooking them up, in many cases, are the only ones actually getting that. And that money to help those people comes from our taxes. So you have struggling people struggling to make it themselves, many of which can't even do it on their own, paying taxes while they're struggling, picking and choosing what they're going to do, what bill to pay, how they're going to pay for medicine or whatnot. There's no retirement. Like, how are you going to save money for retirement when there's nothing left at the end of your paycheck? Only the strong are making it right now. And only the strong will set themselves up. I'll tell you how you can make a retirement. You have to go without. You have to go without. You've got to cut. You even cut to the bone, your budget, you got to cut some more. You got to cut some of that bone off. That's a shame. Amputate yourself. Amputate your paycheck. 10% off the top. When you get paid, 10% goes to you, your future, and to your investments. If you ain't making it on 100%, you ain't gonna make it on 90%. Take that 10% and do not give it away. Hold it for yourself. You're gonna need that. You're gonna need that cushion. If it's any cushion, you're gonna need help. And no one's coming to help you. You need to help yourself. If you wanna make it in this world, the world is getting worse and worse, harder and harder, and the poor people don't stand a chance. We're on a spiral, like a toilet. When it flushes, it spins. It goes down slowly until eventually they do away with us like toilet bowl turds. And you know what? We're way better than that. To hell with them in their toilet. I'll tell you what, if you like any of my content, please subscribe, like the video, and have a nice day.